Live, local, late breaking. This is Newswatch 12 at 11.
We are supposed to be taking a live look at Klamath Falls right now, where an air quality alert is in effect for Klamath County through 3 p.m. on Wednesday. Little bit of wind and stagnant air is leading to poor air quality. There's Klamath Falls. Our Storm Tracker 12 team is keeping a close eye on conditions. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Samantha Cadera. Air quality is just one concern tonight, and fog is also settling into other areas. So let's get right over to Storm Tracker 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman. Matt, what can we expect for the conditions right now?
Well, we saw not only the fog in Grants Pass, it's really settled in. Take a live look across the Rogue Valley. Not bad in Medford, Ashland, Talon. There is still that potential overnight that fog will expand into more of our west side valleys. Also very foggy right now in the Illinois Valley. Temperatures down into the 40s in Grants Pass and Medford. Visibility near zero in Grants Pass. But we don't have a lot of wind, and we haven't had a lot of wind the last few days. So a lot of the pollutants are being accumulated into the valleys, especially at night. So that's why we're seeing drops in air quality, moderate air quality in Medford and Grants Pass, and then unhealthy for sensitive group air quality in Klamath Falls. That air quality alert continuing through tomorrow into Wednesday for Klamath County. But there are big changes around the corner. A storm system on the way for Wednesday and Thursday. It's going to pick up the winds. That'll help with air quality. But some of those winds could be pretty strong on Wednesday into Wednesday night. And we'll also see wet weather pushing on in, especially into your Thursday. Out there now, mostly clear skies. We'll see more of that fog settling into our inland valleys. Temperatures chilly on the east side. We're down to the 30s, 40s along I-5. Currently 46 in Grants Pass and 47 degrees in Medford. Tonight, we'll drop down to about 44 degrees in Medford as skies becoming foggier in the region, at least in our west side valleys through the overnight hours. Maybe a little bit of fog into Klamath Falls in the morning. But if you're going to be heading to the Veterans Day Parade in Klamath Falls starting at 10 a.m., we'll be in the mid 40s by the noon hour, getting into the mid 50s with a mix of sun and clouds. All in all, does look pretty quiet for those Veterans Day ceremonies tomorrow. More mild temperatures tomorrow afternoon. But again, big changes on the way as we go through the middle of the week. I'll have more details ahead in just a bit.
We're taking a closer look at Oregon's transportation bill and the criticism that surrounded it. Just Friday, Governor candidate Christine Drazan sat down in our studio with me, criticizing the governor for delaying her signature on the bill. Now, 3 days later, Governor Kotek announced that it's signed into law. Tonight, we're digging into the governor's decision and what comes next for Oregon drivers.
I think that she is disrespecting Oregonians right now. It's shocking. It is shocking to me that the governor of the state has so little respect for the people of the state that she would take her signature tax increase and she would prevent them from having a voice in whether or not they have to pay it.
House Bill 3991 funds road repairs, bridge work, and transit agencies across Oregon. The governor's office says it will prevent layoffs at the Oregon Department of Transportation and keep state highways safe and staffed this winter. The bill closes a $300 million funding gap and creates new oversight and accountability rules for ODOT projects. It also reverses Oregon's mandatory toll program and requires more efficient cars to pay by the mile. The governor had until November 12th to sign, and each day she wanted to cut into time for a 2026 ballot challenge. Some Democrats warned the delay could hurt public trust. Critics, including Christine Drazan, said it shows a lack of respect for voters. Now we're tracking the federal shutdown and how it's impacting Oregon. The Senate just passed a bipartisan bill to reopen the government. The bill keeps SNAP benefits going, and it also brings back federal workers who were let go. They'll get back pay once the government reopens. The bill does not extend Obamacare grants. 8 senators broke from the Democratic caucus to get it passed. Oregon Senators Ron Wyden and Jeff Merkley did not join them.
My view has been from the beginning of this that I would have a red line, a very clear red line, so that Oregonians knew where I stand. And my red line was all about holding down these health insurance premiums that are so devastating to Oregonians.
145,500 Oregonians rely on these healthcare grants, which are set to expire at the end of the year. The deal includes a December vote to extend them, but that vote might not happen. If the bill passes in the Senate, it will move to the House for the final vote before going to the president. As the government shutdown continues on, national parks like Crater Lake are feeling the impact. The park is still open, but some services aren't. Gift shop workers employed by a private company say they're still open, but business has been slow. They told me they believe many people think the shop is closed because of the shutdown. Usually it costs $30 per car to enter the park, but right now no one is manning the pay booth. A sign outside it says during this lapse in appropriations, national parks will remain as accessible as possible, but some services may be limited. I spoke with one family visiting from out of state and they told me they almost didn't come, worried the park would be closed entirely. Changes are coming to Oregon State parks in 2026, including higher parking fees and fewer free entry days. The department says it's all part of a plan to fill a major budget shortfall. State parks officials say they're facing at least a $14 million budget gap. That means annual parking passes will double from $30 to $60 for Oregon residents and $70 for visitors out of state. Free parking days on Green Friday and January 1st will also be discontinued.
We're projecting a $14 million budget shortfall this biennium due to decreasing lottery revenue, increasing cost, and a longstanding need for more sustainable funding. We wish there was another way. We know this is going to have an impact on visitors, but these changes are critical to sustaining state park operations and services now and for the future.
The agency will also stop accepting Jackson County parking permits at Tuville and Valley of the Rogue State Parks starting January 1st. Oregonians can still lock in the current $30 price by purchasing an annual pass before the new year. Now moving into a crime alert, Medford Police Department is announcing the arrest of 3 people following an armed pursuit Saturday night. Around 8 p.m., a woman reported having a gun pointed at her by a passing vehicle near Crater Lake Avenue and Delta Waters Road. Police were able to locate that vehicle near Hawthorne Park, where the suspects crashed into a fence at the park. 2 of the suspects fled while one was arrested, leading to assistance from Medford Police SWAT and K-9 Bruno. Both were later apprehended, and a closer look at their arrest can be found on our website. And the Eagle Point Police Department is releasing data from its September enforcement period. A total of 117 stops were made, resulting in 35 citations and 48 warnings for speeding. 10 citations were also made for driving while suspended and for driving uninsured. Other citations made were for failing to use a seatbelt, cell phone use, one exceeding 100 miles an hour, and 55 other violation warnings. Now new at 11 tonight, Curry County is getting a new district attorney. Governor Tina Kotek announced Paul Kevin Kelly will take over later this month. He'll step into the role November 18th, the day after current DA Joshua Spancell's resignation takes effect. Kelly has worked as a deputy DA in Curry County since 2019 and spent more than a decade in the Washington County District Attorney's Office. Before that, Spancell was reelected last year to a 4-year term, but his resignation becomes official November 17th. And Medford City leaders want your input on the future of Main Street downtown. The City Council is reviewing new design options for Main Street and wants your input. An open house is Thursday, November 20th from 5:30 to 7 at Oakdale Middle School. And if you can attend, an online survey is open through November 30th, and residents can rank 4 layouts, including the old design, the current one, or new bike lanes. And tomorrow, Veterans Day celebrations are taking place across the country to honor all veterans of the U.S. Armed Forces. Now let's take a look at some of the Veterans Day events in our region. In Klamath Falls, an hour-long parade will be held along Main Street. It begins at 10 a.m. in Eagle Point, and the annual parade starts at 10:30 a.m. and it travels along West Main Street and Royal Avenue. And the Oregon Department of Veterans Affairs will host a statewide ceremony at 11 a.m. in front of the state capitol. That ceremony will also be live streamed on their Facebook page. And as we approach the holiday season, we're continuing our annual holiday food drive. We've already collected over 1,000 bags of groceries for our Stuff the Truck campaign, but we need more than 6,000 to fill an entire semi-truck. If you want to help us bring supply to local food pantries, and you can visit any Ray's Food Place to help us out.